really quick and easy, and it uses instances which has a lower impact on your level memory than, you know, carefully placing each individual one. So we'll just go back to camera mode for now, which is pretty much what you'll be in most of the time. For these tutorial videos, you'll either be in camera mode or geometry mode, just to keep that in mind. And brushes are things that this here is the red builder brush, and this is your most functionality over in the Unreal Development Kit when building levels. It allows us to quickly prototype things called BSP brushes, and these are the different templates. So this isn't actually part of the level. If we have the cube selected, we can have a cone, a cylinder, a sphere. Obviously that doesn't look too much like a sphere, but you can change the amount of edges it has and steps. It's just a basic template for building things in the UDK. BSP has been a long-term thing of Unreal, and although some people like to build their levels solely in Maya or Max, it allows you to quickly prototype things in UDK. CSG, the CSG buttons here, you got CSG add and CSG subtract. Again, we'll be covering these. These are linked with BSP brushes, and there's also hotkeys which I generally tend to use more. You've got Control A for add, Control S for subtract. We'll go in all about BSP brushes in a later video, but that's where you can add and subtract and do different things with your brushes. The volumes tab is pretty powerful. I've never really used the add special brush, but with the add volume, if you just right click on here, it's got a whole list of different volumes, and you can tell by some of the names. You know, you've got water volumes here, lava volumes, post-processing, ladder, gravity, blocking. So it does exactly that. You can like either block player paths, or wherever you've added some water, you can actually create the functionality of water so the player starts swimming. And it's just a really quick tool to be able to add those functionalities. So we'll be using the volumes quite a lot. These select are pretty much just for your viewport options. You've got show selected only or hide selected. So say we select this cube here and press hide, then it disappears. It'll still be in your game when you play it, but you're just hiding it from the editor. Maybe you'll have loads of assets in one place and it's very hard to select, so you can just hide the different assets that you want. You can show all again from hiding them, so if you need to hide and then show it again, that's that. Or if you only want this box in the entire level shown, then you can press this first button here and it hides everything else but this box. So just keep that in mind. And then these bottom two things are go to actor and go to builder brush. So if we select this actor here and look this way and hit go to actor, then it centers in all our viewports here, along with go to builder brush. This is where we left our builder brush. If we just select the cube again and go over here and just hit that button here, then it takes us to the red builder brush again. In the viewport windows, you've got the side view, the front view, the top view, and the perspective view. We can change these at any time. So say we want to change the side to the perspective, to the top, to the front. Again, we can just keep scrolling through those. Generally, it's a good way to keep your interfaces like this, but for customizable people out there, you can have it however you want. So you've got your drop down box here, which will show different things. Say you can't see any static meshes, or you can't see your red builder brush, just check in here for the general tick boxes and you'll be able to hide and toggle things. We'll be covering a few of these buttons going through the tutorials, but some of them you may never need to know, so we won't go through everything. But pretty much all these drop down menus are buttons along the top of here. So we can just click on real time here instead of going into there and real time. It just adds a lot more direct access. So real time would be like if we just load up, because I've hidden the sky from this one, so I'm just loading up the blank template again, and just give it a second to load, and then we see our sky here, but nothing much is happening in the sky. Whereas if we click this real time button, then we can see the sky slowly moving, and any water effects that we had, any fire, smoke, they'd all start running. This is pretty performance intensive, so if you don't need to have this running, don't have it on at all times, depending on your computer speed of course, but I generally don't need real time on unless I'm viewing something specific. The next one, you've got brush wireframe, which will just show the wireframe without any textures, materials, lighting information, anything like that. Next you'll have just the wireframe option, which will be a lot more apparent in these screens, I think. Well, actually no, they don't. But if you have BSP brushes in your level, then that'll show those up for you. Unlit mode, I'll generally be working in unlit mode all the time. The only reason why you need to be working in lit mode is if you're working on the visuals of your level, anything like that. Some people just like working in lit mode because it looks nicer, but I mean unlit mode is much more performance effective, and you know, you can do a lot more. Obviously you can't see like shadows of things anymore, but it's an easy way to build your levels. The next one obviously would be lit mode. That's the default for the editor. You got detailed lighting, which will just show the main lighting. So we got a light there, but if we go on lit mode, then it shows all the extra detail. So you've just got pretty much the lighting information on this one. Lighting only, which shows just what it says, just the lighting. You got light complexity. This is all green for now, which means it's pretty smooth running, pretty performance effective. But say we opened a different map from our UDK game folder in the content, maps. Let's go on examples. Let's not go on examples. Showcases. Yeah, we could. We'll just go on UT3 for now and select DM deck, which is just a really old school map for the Unreal games. And as you can see, there's a lot of black information there and a lot of green. It just shows the around density, yep, and then texture density. The lighter the blue, the more heavy it will be, and the green will be the lighter density. And then you have got shader complexity. The reds are the bads, pink is extremely bad. You want to stay on the greens and the darker greens if possible. So anything that's in pink is pretty performance heavy, so you got to watch out for those. Generally for you guys just starting out, you don't need to worry about any of these options, and just the lighting only, which kind of shows just an ambient occlusion type effect, I guess. Game view, if we click on it, would hide any in-game items. So this is exactly what you would be seeing in your game if you ran it right now. So if we click off game, we've got loads of lighting and nodes going on. But if you just want to see what it looks like in game, you can hit that G, or you can hit G on your keyboard, which toggles it on and off. Generally you won't need to hide them unless you're doing some kind of testing. You can lock the viewport as well and lock selected actors. Just watch out for this button, make sure you don't have it selected unless for a reason. We will be covering this in Kismet when we're moving around cameras, but if you hit an object like this door frame for example, and then look at here and then move somewhere, you kind of drag this doorway with you wherever you move. So I mean, if you had a huge part of your level selected by accident and hit that I button, then things can go bad pretty quickly. So you pretty much don't want that selected at any time, but just in case you do, you kind of undo the move, or you can just put it back in its place manually if you want. Level streaming, volume and post-process, volume previews, you won't need to be touching these are more advanced Unreal things. Camera movement is the speed that your camera is moving. So if we just click it, it bumps up the bar. So a full bar would mean we're moving forwards and backwards very quickly. If we bump it once more, then we're going less quicker. So I generally have it about halfway. It allows you to edit a level, but if you have a really huge level, then you want to move places backwards and forwards pretty quickly, you can just do that. And then lastly, we've got a plain viewport button, which will just load your game up in this viewport. And then we can also tear off a floating copy, which will just allow us to move this editor window externally from the Unreal interface. And then lastly, we can make a window full screen and smaller again. Generally, I don't like to run this full screen just because my PC isn't too good at handling it. This size is okay for the purpose of what I'm doing, but you know, the option is there. So that pretty much covers up all the buttons. We'll be going into more depth about scaling along the bottom and autosave in a later video, but those are the main menu buttons for now. Cheers.